The changes and the ascension is happening faster than the science can keep up with. Our physical body is a biological and organic computer. We are ascending within our body. When our chakras are clear, we have very positive, joyful, multidimensional experiences. And I want to help you have a joyful, multidimensional experience. I want to bring through the Sirians to talk about this type of evolution and what it actually means. The multidimensional reality is the truest reality. This is the ascension of the light body. The evolution of your emotions from biochemical to electric is the evolution from 3D to 5D. This only occurs when you choose to turn your awareness and your attention onto your own conscious evolution. You begin to see through the eyes of your soul, which is the eyes of spirit. This is multidimensional evolution. Hello, my name is Eluña. I am an Akashic channeler and a psycho-spiritual healer and teacher. In a video that I recently released, I gave an introduction to the chakras, to the centers in our body that control and govern various physical, emotional, and energetic aspects of our being. I also brought up that our chakras are evolving. Today, I want to talk a little more deeply about the evolution of our chakras and what that really means for us at this time during this period of ascension and awakening. Our bodies are the newest and most complex, and yet the most ancient forms of technology that we are experiencing today. Just like it is with almost any science and any new technology that comes out, a new technology comes out before there is a scientific understanding and ability to explain the new technology. We can see that throughout human history. I encourage you to look at your own research and find many examples of this. I will give one example. The steam engine, when it very first came during the 1800s, it was brought about and invented before the process of thermodynamics was actually understood. What that means is that the steam engine was able to be built and successfully used before we really understood how it could run the way that it was. We later discovered that it's thermodynamics, that is the process that we call it, that is how a steam engine works, but we did not know that prior to the steam engine coming about. Our physical body is a biological and organic computer. The changes and the ascension that is happening within our body, the evolution that is taking place within our body and within our energy, is happening faster than the science can keep up with. There are now many new forms of technology that even 5 years ago were not available to measure the energy of the body, the different energy centers such as our chakras, and as well our light body and other layers of our bodies. Those are all able to be measured in a relatively accurate way now that previously was absolutely not possible. And this evolution is only going to continue, and it will eventually meet up with the science. The technology that we are experiencing within our body eventually will be able to be explained by science. We are well on our way to that, and we are much closer than we have ever been, and that will continue. And it is important to understand that you are going to have experiences that are inexplicable. You likely already are experiencing things like that previously you either have never experienced in your life, or maybe you experienced them at some time when you were a child, but they're coming back again. This might come in the form of past life memories. It might come in the form of new awakening experiences, such as having a mystical experience, seeing something that no one else can see, or sensing something that no one else can feel, knowing something that you can't explain how you know it. Those are examples of mystical experiences that is happening because of our evolution. This evolution, as I said, is happening through the chakras because our chakras govern our physical, emotional, energetic, and our spiritual experience on this planet. So that means our chakras act like little ties between the 4 layers of our body: physical, emotional, energetic or mental, and spiritual. They allow us to be connected to our soul and allow us to experience multidimensionality in a way that is safe and in a way that feels open and good to us. When our chakras are clear of stagnant energy, and when the energy within our chakras are continuing to flow, we have very positive, joyful, multidimensional experiences. And I want to help you have a joyful, multidimensional experience. I want to help you in your multidimensional evolution by giving you this information, by sharing some channeled information that we're all going to learn together, and also to give you some practices. So, as I mentioned, each chakra carries its own energy. A more accurate way of understanding this is that each chakra carries its own consciousness. Energy is consciousness. That means that the energy that a chakra is carrying is the consciousness of that chakra. The first chakra, it carries the energy of safety and belonging within your physical body and belonging within this earth. If the energy in that chakra is one of fear, then you are carrying a consciousness of fear, and it is rooted in your root chakra. I hope that is clear. Again, please visit the other video that I mentioned if that does not make sense to you, so that you can have a deeper understanding of each chakra and the energy that they are carrying. What I want to give you today is information that was given to me by the Sirian Council, a group of beings that work with me on behalf of the Ascension of humanity. And they have given me a single word for each chakra, and the word is an energy that you are meant to bring, which means it is a consciousness that you are meant to bring to that chakra so that you can support the chakra's evolution, which is ultimately supporting your entire evolution as a being at this time on this planet. So, the first chakra, the word that they gave me is gratitude. So bringing in the feeling of gratitude, feeling that in your heart, and then bringing that energy to your root chakra is a way of evolving this chakra. The second chakra, the word that they gave is compassion. So feeling compassion, and if you cannot yet feel compassion, if you say, I don't know what compassion feels like, simply bringing in the energy with your intention of bringing compassion to your second chakra by just focusing on the location of your second chakra and then focusing on the word and the energy, the consciousness of compassion will bring compassion to that chakra. That is bringing the consciousness of compassion to your second chakra. That is evolving it. It is evolving your consciousness by doing this. The third chakra, the word that they brought through is surrender. The energy, the consciousness of surrender in your solar plexus chakra. Bringing your awareness to your solar plexus and bringing in by focusing on the word and the energy of surrender. Surrender in your third chakra. For your fourth chakra, they brought in the energy and the word joy. Joy is connected to our evolution as individuals as well as a species right now. And it is one of the highest vibrations of energy is joy. So bringing in the energy and the consciousness of joy into your heart. That is going to evolve your heart center. It is going to open your heart center, and it is going to support your evolution at this time. The fifth chakra, or throat chakra, the word and the energy that they gave is truth. Truth. Bringing in the energy of truth to your throat chakra will evolve your experience in this lifetime. For your sixth chakra, they brought through the word and the energy of calm. Calm, which did surprise me, but I understand it is because our pineal gland, which is where our sixth chakra is located, is very taxed from other electromagnetic frequencies. And so most of us actually need to calm our sixth chakra so that it can be in a state of equilibrium with the rest of our body. That does not mean that you are going to shut down your ability to receive information in this center. It means that you are going to be able to receive information in the center in a calm, coherent way that is perfectly suited to your energy, thus evolving your experience. For the seventh chakra, the pituitary gland, the word and the energy that they brought through is open. Open. bringing your awareness to your pituitary gland, your 7th chakra, which is in the center of your head, and bringing in the energy of open. Open. For your 8th chakra, the chakra that sits a few inches above your head, the ka, as we call it, the energy that they brought in is worthiness. Worthiness. So you focus just above your head where your 8th chakra is located, and you bring in the energy of worthiness. This allows you to receive in every way. So this chakra governs your ability to receive information in the light spectrum, both visible and non-visible, and to receive in an energetic sense, which then translates to receiving in a physical sense. So anytime that you are wanting to create something new in your life, when you are trying to manifest something in your life, you must be worthy of receiving that which you want to create. That sense of worthiness comes through your 8th chakra. So bring your attention there and focus on the energy of worthiness. We are in a consciousness evolution, and in some ways it is a revolution as well. Those are very much paired. Evolution and revolution have almost the same energy and almost the same implications. And this is happening on a consciousness level. Consciousness, of course, is the determining factor of what we experience in material reality, because everything is consciousness, all is mind, all is consciousness. So whatever your consciousness is, whatever level it is at, and by level, it does not mean low or high in terms of what is good or bad. It means what is low in frequency and vibration and what is high in frequency and vibration. Dense emotions, such as fear, keep you in a low level of consciousness. You operate from a lower frequency, and therefore the decisions that you make and the experiences that you have in your life reflect that level of consciousness. By choosing to awaken and raise your level of consciousness in each of your centers, you are awakening and raising your level of consciousness in your entire being. You are then more in tune with the consciousness of Source, of Spirit, the organizing principle of all creation. That becomes your level of consciousness when you choose to evolve it in this way through each of your chakras. As I say to my students very often, we are ascending within our body. There has been a focus in the New Age community about ascending, and that means that we're leaving our body, that we're just becoming light bodies, and that we don't need to worry about what's happening here in the physical. That is just a misunderstanding, and I fully understand where that comes from, but it is a misunderstanding. We are ascending within our body because our consciousness is rooted in each of our chakras. So we want to ascend the consciousness of our chakras so that we can continue this process of ascension in a way that is in equilibrium and harmony with all of us. When you are in equilibrium and harmony, so too is all of life around you. And in fact, you bring greater levels of equilibrium and harmony. When your consciousness is reflecting that, you bring it to all of the spaces around you. That means you are supporting equilibrium, harmony, unity consciousness in the people around you, in the environment around you, and in the entire collective when you are operating and you consciously choose to continue to operate on that level each and every day, in each and every moment. That does not mean we deny the emotional experiences that we are having. It does not mean that we negate when we are experiencing sadness. It does not mean that we try to push away the feelings of grief or the feelings of rage when those surface within us. The more in tune you become with your heart, and the more that you allow yourself to authentically express your heart, you raise your consciousness You let go of those energies of grief and rage while fully feeling them. You are letting go of them. By fully expressing them, you are releasing them, allowing them to complete their process of what they are serving for you in that moment, and then you return to a state of equilibrium. Naturally, you don't have to force yourself back into a state of joy. It is just naturally where you go to, because your soul is naturally in a state of joy. By raising your consciousness in each of your chakras, you are raising your overall consciousness to match the consciousness of your soul, which of course is fully evolved. So when you do this, you are in full harmony with yourself, with all of the layers of yourself, as well as your soul. That is how you continue to evolve. So of course, during this process, you are likely going to experience, if you have not already, then you likely will experience some type of ascension symptom. I really want to talk about this a little, just to help support you going through it. Because when you experience this, it is simply showing that you have raised your vibration, your consciousness, higher than what the consciousness in one or more than one of your chakras was at. It is good in a way because it is showing that you have evolved. You have lifted your consciousness to such a level that now your chakras are also catching up to where you are. For example, if you experience nausea, or perhaps you experience difficulty eating, or the opposite, you actually feel like you need to eat a lot of food all of a sudden, that is indicative, likely, of having your consciousness in your second chakra, which governs your stomach, raised in its vibration. So you are feeling like you want to consume a lot or not consume anything, or perhaps most food is just making you a little sick. Maybe you don't really feel like eating anything. That is likely because you have raised your consciousness, and the consciousness, the energy in your second chakra, is also evolving and being raised to that same place. Another common symptom happens in your throat. If you experience a sore throat or you have your voice completely lost, that is likely because you have raised your vibration to a consciousness of truth so quickly that now this center that governs truth and authentic expression also has been raised, and you are simply experiencing the release of anything that was holding you back from expressing that, which comes through in a physical way of having a sore throat or completely losing your voice. Another common example that many people face is having headaches or having sudden migraines come on, and it sticks with them for some time. That is likely because you are experiencing an upgrade in your pineal gland, your 6th chakra, your pituitary gland, or your 7th chakra, or your ka, the 8th chakra above your head. Sometimes it's all three at once that are being upgraded. The overall level of your consciousness that takes place within your mind, your physical brain, is being raised to such a level that you are experiencing headache symptoms. So, those are just 3 examples of some common symptoms that many people feel and experience, and it's one of the reasons why we want to be giving ourselves time to ground and to integrate, in accordance with what works for your schedule, really letting yourself be in a state of slowness, not being so fast all the time, because we are integrating so many new energies and frequencies that come from the cosmos, and also that are coming from the earth herself and that are being expressed in the collective around us. So give yourself plenty of time to move through these symptoms, particularly as you choose to start focusing on these energies and the consciousness that has been brought up in this video. Make sure that you stick with it and allow yourself to have time to integrate all of this, because it's going to change your consciousness. You are going to evolve if you choose to do this frequently. So, as I have mentioned, and as I am very fond of, part of what allows you to continue with this evolution is, yes, bringing in new consciousness, such as the energies that the Sirian Council gave to us, those words that they mentioned for each of our chakras. It is important to bring in new levels of consciousness. it is also equally important to be liberating and clearing the old consciousness from those centers. So I am a big proponent and also a teacher of chakra clearing so that you can maintain a clear state and maintain clear, open chakras that are flowing with new levels of consciousness while simultaneously releasing old levels of consciousness. If you already have a chakra clearing practice and it works for you, then please keep it. Please keep doing that and just bring in this new information that you've been given about the energy that you can give to each of those chakras so that now you're bringing in a higher level of consciousness there. In the previous video, there were also many people who shared their own practices for chakra clearing, and I encourage you to go back and read the comment section and see if there's something that stands out to you. Any way that gives you space and time to just tune into your chakras, bring in new energy, and let go of the old, that is a perfect way to clear your chakras. And I want to tell you, here and now, as someone who has done a lot of work clearing chakras for people on behalf of others, as well as on behalf of our beloved planet, I want to tell you, you are the person who is the best suited to clearing your own chakras. You do not need anyone or anything outside of you to clear your chakras. Just as you do not need anyone or anything outside of you to feed you, and just as you do not need anyone or anything outside of you to release the food that you take in, you do all of that yourself. You clear your own chakras with your own energy the best. It is your energy that is the best suited to your chakras because they're yours. You are going to have insights and you are going to be able to bring in new energy that no one else will be able to bring in or see for you. You are the best suited. It doesn't matter if you have never done a chakra meditation, if you do not see energy, if you never have meditated in your life. None of that matters. Your energy is still your own. Your physical body is still your own in this lifetime. Therefore, you are the best equipped to be doing this. So I'm telling you this because you can clear your chakras just through intention, through bringing your energy there. The way that we evolve our experience of what we have been doing through chakra clearings is to bring in this multidimensional aspect of how we are evolving. That is what the Sirians gave to us, those words, the energies that they gave. That is how you evolve your chakras while clearing simultaneously. The other aspect of what we are experiencing through the evolution of our chakras is the evolution of our emotions. Because our chakras are connected physically to glands in our body, and those glands govern our hormones as well as other biochemicals in our body, that means that they also have an effect on our emotions. What that means? Our emotions also have an effect on our glands, first and foremost, and our emotions are also evolving. Because our consciousness is evolving, our glands and our physical body is also evolving. That means our emotions are also evolving. They are evolving from a biochemical component only to being electric and energetic in nature. I want to bring through the Sirians, as well as some beings from inner Earth, to talk about this experience, to talk about this type of evolution and what it actually means. What does it mean for you? What does it mean for us as a collective? Because I would just like to know more information. It is helpful for our consciousness to understand how our consciousness is evolving, how our emotions are evolving. And so I would just like to get their perspective because they have been very helpful throughout this process of looking at emotions and looking at chakras. They have been very, very supportive. So I'm going to bring them through now just to see what they have to say on this. I welcome the Sirian Council. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you also to the Council of Inner Earth for being present. I appreciate you. And thank you to the Lemurian Council also for your support during this time. So I would like to know, from your perspective, your wisdom, from your level of consciousness, What does it mean? And what are the impacts and the implications of our emotions evolving from biochemical to electric? They are evolving your understanding and your perception of your reality because they are directly impacting the experience as well as the power or the level that your light body has to move through time and space and also to move beyond time and space. What this means is that certain emotions are able to take you beyond time and space, which is how you are directly connected to your multidimensional self, which is your truth. The multidimensional reality is the truest reality, and it is the reality that as a collective the Earth has chosen to shift into. The more in touch you become with your multidimensional nature, the more you allow yourself to evolve in tandem and in harmony with what the Earth herself is going through, which is a multidimensional evolution. Moving beyond the realm only of time and space, only of material expression and material reality, and moving into the immaterial reality and the realm of space-time, where all is infinite and only eternity exists. This is what allows you to move into multiple dimensions at one time and to move through dimensions with clarity, with ease, and with grace. When your emotional consciousness has evolved to a state that is in alignment, a vibrational alignment and frequency with the dimensional spaces that you can move into, you are able to move into those dimensions with absolute ease by the choice of your will. This is the ascension of the light body. This is the ascension of Earth moving from three-dimensional consciousness into fifth-dimensional consciousness. The evolution of your emotions from biochemical to electric is the evolution from 3D to 5D. This is done by individual free will as well as by the free will of Earth herself. She acknowledges and allows each being to make their own choice, their own decision in alignment with their soul as to what they wish to experience and as to what they wish to evolve through and as, whether that means remaining in a three-dimensional consciousness or moving into a fifth-dimensional consciousness. We will say, however, this fifth-dimensional evolution, because it is being done with the Earth through her consciousness, which is simultaneously your consciousness, and the choice has already been made to move into this fifth-dimensional, multi-dimensional understanding and reality, that does mean each being will be brought up and raised to this frequency in their own time. In accordance to their own soul's evolution, they will be brought up and raised to this level of consciousness and to this level of evolution. And it will be done in absolute harmony as the order of the universe dictates. This evolution will occur in absolute harmony with each soul and with each consciousness that is involved. This is the way that the universe, or more accurately called the multiverse, works. It moves in absolute accordance, in absolute order with itself. It is a revolving, continuous, fractal reflection of itself, and what it chooses to reflect is always order. That is its natural nature. That is its most natural expression. That is its level of consciousness, is order, is harmony, is expressed in beauty. This is the consciousness that is taking place, and this is why you can see this consciousness evolution happening in a multitude of ways throughout the Earth, in multiple industries, in multiple countries, in multiple religions, in multiple experiences of the physical realm. It must be noted that you may not have a level of consciousness that can identify where this evolution is taking place. It may appear to you that there is not evolution taking place in a certain person, in a certain place, in a certain industry, in a certain religion, but we tell you it is very much taking place because it is the way of order. It is the way of the multiverse to work through each being, through each point of consciousness, in exactly the pace that is intended for that point of consciousness in accordance to order. Each point of consciousness carries its own piece in the fractal of all that is. Therefore, each point of consciousness has its own time and process for evolving, including the way that evolution looks to you is different based on that point of consciousness. You, listening to this, have the awareness that this consciousness evolution is already happening and has been happening. You, listening to this, already have the knowing and the ability and the remembering of what this evolution means. There are many misunderstandings, there are many distortions that come from these misunderstandings of the nature of this evolution, and we are here to clear this up for you. We wish to support you in the highest and most clear and harmonious way possible by giving you this information about this evolution. You have the choice to consciously evolve yourself. You have the choice to consciously evolve your own body, your own chakra system, your own emotional experience, your own mental, energetic level of consciousness. This is all within your choice. This is all within your free will. You have the ability to consciously manipulate and affect your evolution in accordance to your own soul's highest good. By taking in the understanding and by living in alignment and accordance with the principle of the organization of the entire multiverse, you are then able to understand and respect each being's evolution as their own. And rather than being fixated on another's evolution, on another's individual experience of this conscious evolution, you instead turn your awareness and your energy back to your own evolution, back to your own level of frequency, back to what you yourself are choosing to create in this world. This is how the evolution continues, and it is also how the evolution picks up pace within your own individual self, which thus contributes to the pace of the collective. By you choosing to consciously evolve your own being, and by you choosing to consciously focus on your own level of consciousness, you help support the consciousness evolution of the entire collective. And soon, when you reach a level of consciousness, you will notice other places, other people, other experiences that you once judged as non-evolved, that you once judged and said, that is not a level of expression or consciousness that I choose to participate in, you will begin to notice that they are in their own evolution. This only occurs when you choose to turn your awareness and your attention onto your own conscious evolution, when you bring your energy within yourself and you choose to ascend within yourself. You then lift yourself to the same perspective that your soul carries. You begin to see through the eyes of your soul, which is the eyes of spirit. The eyes of spirit see only order. Even in the disorder and the perceived chaos, there is order and harmony occurring at its own level of consciousness. Unless you wish to bring your level of consciousness into a state of disharmony, disorder, and chaos, choose to focus on the type of consciousness that you wish to have and that you wish to see in this world. The consciousness of harmony, of compassion, of worthiness, of truth. We have given you these energies in accordance and in alignment with each chakra because these are the principles that are lifting humanity, and they are the principles that will govern all of life very soon on your planet. Live in that consciousness. Live as this consciousness by bringing these energies into your being. By bringing these energies into each of your chakras, you lift your consciousness to a higher level, to the level of spirit. We encourage you to explore this again, to feel deeply each energy that we have given to you, to feel deeply each level of consciousness that we have given to you. Your felt experience is your first level and mode of evolution. We will say this again. Your first experience of evolution and the first understanding of your consciousness raising is through the felt experience of your body. This can be felt within your chakras. This new level of consciousness can be felt within each of your chakras when you choose to consciously bring a new level of consciousness to these spaces. We see you with love. We see you and your planet in absolute harmonious alignment with the evolution of consciousness at this exact moment in time. You can bring yourself to a higher level of consciousness when you move out of time. When you bring your conscious awareness beyond time, you are able to bring through higher levels of consciousness that are forward in human time. This is bringing the future to your now. This is bringing the evolution of your consciousness to your current state of consciousness. This is multidimensional evolution. Removing yourself from time to bring through something that will be natural in the future of humanity. To bring through the state and level of consciousness, to bring through the emotions that will soon be felt by all of humanity and feeling them now. This evolves your individual experience and the collective experience. And soon, you live in accordance with what will be natural for all life. Your life, your individual life, reflects the harmonious evolution that all life will soon experience. And it is possible to live this now through your conscious evolution, through your conscious participation in this evolution of consciousness. We are with you always. We are supporting you from our own level of consciousness, always. Now that you have just heard from these beautiful beings from the Sirian Council, paired with some guidance from the Lemurian Council as well as the Council of Inner Earth, I just thought I would share with you that I have a new Channeling After Dark where the Sirian Council speaks exclusively about the evolution of our chakras and what is happening there in every sense of the word. So on a physical level, the energetic and emotional level, and the spiritual level, they go into all of that in very deep detail. And the Channeling After Dark is a series that I have just for my members. So this is available through my website, eluñanoel.com. If you wish to learn more, you can sign up for a membership and be able to watch this show. It is incredibly helpful, this particular episode about the evolution of our chakras, and I go into all kinds of different information that I really can't do on YouTube because it is very long. They are usually an hour and a half or so, and so it is a lot of questions that I am just curious about that I explore in this series called Channeling After Dark, and the most recent one is about the evolution of our chakras. I have found it immensely helpful and informative, and I find myself going back to it frequently now to understand more deeply what is happening in my own chakras. So I just thought I would mention that before you leave, and I do hope to see you within the circle if you choose to join. I hold live events and I get to see your faces anytime I do that, and I would love to be able to see you there.